Jay, I got questions for you, but was it evolution? Because I've always been fascinated by you two as a rhythm section, because you guys get better and better, in my opinion. Is some of the evolution of your playing together is to combat the sheer volume of Jay? I mean, this is as loud as it looks. And I remember I've asked you guys before, early days of Dinosaur Jr., you said he already came in with quite a bit of volume right from the beginning. So was some of the evolution of the playing of you two to kind of armor yourself against this so you can even hear yourself? That's what I always wondered. Do you? Because you hit very hard. Do you hit hard just so you can get over that and over him?
Yeah, I mean, I have to hit really hard, and I usually have to have the monitors super cranked, or I can't hear it and feel it.
I remember Murph's friend, you know, when we formed the band, he said, yeah, Murph's maybe not the best drummer, but he's definitely the loudest.
Jay, your guitar sound is, you're one of the Dinosaur Jr. is arguably one of the loudest bands I've ever seen. Like on stage, as far as ambient dB on stage, it's Motorhead loud. It is incredibly loud. But not loud to drive the audience away, not loud to bum people out. It's part of the message of the music. And so when did you get to the point where the rig, the pedals, the sound was exactly where you stopped adding? You know, were you ever at a point where like, this is what I'm talking about? Because I've never seen you play with more than this, but I've seen you play with less, you know, years before. Was it a matter of just the budget to afford this walls?
Yeah, you know, it's the budget to go further than this and then kind of scale back and then, you know, go to what seems like a good, you know, place. Is just kind of, having the funds of trial and error and just being able to go too far so that you can rein it in to where it seems right.
Your guitar sound, and I think all of you will agree, it's one of the most incredibly deep. There's a lot of things going on in your sound. What was the evolution of that? When you were younger, there's no way you knew of all the effects and pedals and this kind of the science of sound as you do now. In the last several years, do you keep checking out pedals? Do you keep investigating new ways to make sound? Is that still an ongoing process for you?
Oh, sure, yeah, all the time. It's one of my only interests, so.
Here's something else, don't take this the wrong way. Because I'm not here to make you put down other bands, and I'm not interested in putting down any band, truly I'm not. But a lot of bands who have been around as long as Dinosaur Jr., who used to write songs, they abandoned songwriting and they just start stringing together riffs. And you'll often hear them say in interviews, we're going back to our roots, which basically says, we have run out of ideas. And you hear those records, and it sounds like, well, we get together, we make a bunch of riffs, and they try and sell it as, we're so raw, we just throw it together. And when you hear the record, you go, it sounds like you got nothing to say to each other, and you just put riffs together to fulfill a contract. And the wonderful difference between that and what you all do is, you're still writing songs. Like the last two records, Beyond and Farm, those are songs. And you all actually play songs. And it makes the entire Dinosaur Jr. catalog so listenable in that I'm a big fan. I don't think there's any bad album. There's no Dinosaur Jr. album I ever heard where I went, like, what were they thinking? Like, what are you doing? And they're all good records. So what to any this is open for any of you guys. You're the chief songwriter in Dinosaur Jr., but you're also a songwriter, Lou. And you don't write songs like they do, but you got a record collection. Question is, what is the value of the form, the song, to you at this point? Like, what value and merit does the form, the structure of what they call a song mean to you?
I mean, I think it's, especially with the last couple albums that we've done under this, during this reunion, we're very aware of like our chemistry and how we play together, and I think Jay, approaches a lot of songs and songwriting is, what's going to sound best? How are we going to play this together? How is it going to sound good? And we try to work with that. It's kind of, if it's not broke, don't fix it. We have a formula that works, so we kind of stick to that.
Because the last two records, since the Reformation, it sounds like three guys really playing together. It really does, and it sounds like you guys have really understood the chemistry and what really makes the band go, and you're able to capitalize on everyone's strengths. And you two have gone from strength to strength as a rhythm section, and they're going to see it tonight. You guys have been playing great lately. And so, over the years, the idea of writing songs, Jay, is that still, you know, obviously very valuable to you? What's the songwriting process for you? You like, how long does it take for you to write the next batch of songs?
It just depends, you know, it's kind of like fishing. You just sit there and wait, you know, play guitar, watch TV, and hope some good riff will come and string a few together and hope the song is alright.
So is it just, since different people work in different ways. Some people, they walk in at 9 a.m., they put the cap on, and they're songwriting until dinner time. Are you one who just kind of has a guitar around at the ready fairly often, is always just kind of having it and playing it and seeing what might fall in?
Yeah, but I also do that, like, you know, okay, from 8 o'clock till 10 I'll play and, you know, see if anything happens.
Do you guys have any interesting memories? Because you're an East Coast band coming out to the West Coast, and you do, you know, got a nice crowd out here. Do you have any memories of earlier times coming out to play in California, but specifically in Los Angeles? Good, bad, indifferent?
I remember, it's actually the one time that I played a show, or we didn't play a show because no one showed up, was here in Los Angeles. So it's the only time, like any band I've been in, the only time that no one ever showed up and we actually canceled the show was here, 1987.
1987?
Yeah, I think so.
Painted Willie was the opening band that no one came to see too.
Yeah,
A
Painted Willie,
local band, at least they
Dinosaur
had a couple
Jr.
friends or something.
And 1987 would have been around the time, would that be like right before Bug? Would it be You're Living All Over Me?
It was before You're Living All Over Me was released. In fact, I think we made it to California the day the record was released.
This is when SST and
Yes.
all their wit and wisdom put you on tour but failed to release the album.
Yes.
And so Dinosaur Jr. toured secretly through America as a covert operation and came out here like SEAL Team 6 as a stealth mission. Took the venue in the afternoon and played to no one.
We didn't play. We actually did not play. We took our amps from the club and put them back in our fucking shitty van that broke down 4 times on that tour. And yeah, I don't know what we did after that. But
I actually remember coming out here one of the first times we were new on SST, and you guys showed up, kind of the SST crew. You were there, maybe Greg was there, and I just remember being like, oh, fuck. I was like, oh no, like you're both all standing there right in front, cross-armed, and I was just like, oh, this is gonna be really
Don't
hard.
judge the Murph, come on.
Well, I know what you're feeling, and we got a couple more minutes, and then, believe me, we get about 13 or 15 minutes